our expertise must be adapted to the requirements, to the expectations of the patient according to their anatomy. And that is what is making this surgery very, very difficult. Yeah. You know, Cam, in my life, I can tell you I have done all kind of head and neck surgery. I can reconstruct the head, I can remove everything and reconstruct and rebuild everything. But I can tell you, the nose is probably the most difficult.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Rhinoplasty podcast in this very special season that's all about the World Rhinoplasty Week. And my guest today is none other than Yves Saban. Yves, thank you so much for spending time chatting tonight.
Cam, you know, it's always great being interviewed by you, with you, working with you and preparing so many things together. Because your energy is so huge that you are sharing and communicating that to us. And so for me, it's a really honor being with you. And talking about the World Rhinoplasty Week will be a big pleasure. So maybe you can start with making some comments. You know, this Rhinoplasty Week in South Africa, in Port Elizabeth, is very special because it's a unique opportunity to our friends to see 6 different surgeons, top world surgeons, making first live surgeries according to their personal experience on ethnic patients. When we say ethnic, it means we can have European, Asians, African, and others. And they will show, each surgeon will show how he's dealing with this kind of patients. And this will be great. I will not cite the names, but I can give names because it's very top people, top surgeons. So from Africa, we will have Hussam Foda. From Western, there will be Goxel. From North America, there will be Toriumi. From South America, there will be Ishida. I will be representing Europe. And from the Asian, there will be Professor Zhang, who is also with us. So it's, on my knowledge, it's the first time we are making all these kind of surgeries all together on your patients. And I don't know how you could manage getting this kind of patients, maybe because Africa is a kind of melting pot. You can find people coming from all over the world. Yeah, this is really great. And I'm really enjoying not only sharing my experience, showing what I'm doing, but also learning from my friends because it's really something amazing. First time I see that in my life, and I can tell you that I know what are meetings, and I have seen so many ones. So congratulations, Cam, for organizing this amazing meeting.
Oh, but Yves, we've been working together with you guys for a year and a half. I mean, the listeners, guys, you don't know how much work the Saban family has put into this thing. So it's really exciting. And Yves, you know what's amazing to me is like, so even last week, I was driving to work, and I was thinking, how am I going to find a patient for Goxel, like an Asian patient? And how am I going to find a really cool patient for Dean as well, like a North American? And I was like, oh, Lord, help me. I've got to do something. And literally the first 2 patients I saw were the ideal candidates, and they were very excited about it. So there's only one more person I have to find a candidate for, and that's you. So I've got my eyes open, and we're going to find somebody really interesting for you to operate on.
Otherwise, I can convince some patients of mine coming to South Africa. It's fine. I will.
That would be great.
Not easy, but we never know. We never know how things can turn.
Wow, that would be great. So, Yves, for the listeners that are out here, guys, so if you haven't heard of World Rhinoplasty Day or World Rhinoplasty Week, you must be living under a rock because it's going to be an outstanding event. It's a whole week of rhinoplasty. We geeks about rhinoplasty, kicking off with what is possibly the most unique thing ever of a 72 nation participating in a 24-hour webinar where these guys out-preach each other. So there's an 18-minute slot per nation, and then it comes into a studio where our 6 invited faculty are sitting around with some other saucer guys, and we discuss cases. And at the end of this 24 hours, the judging panel, who's made up of judges of the editors of the journals around the world of rhinoplasty, announce the winner. So, Yves, apparently 2 of the countries have already submitted their pre-recorded talks. I'm so interested to hear your thoughts around the actual World Rhinoplasty Day.
Yeah, this is very special because I was talking about the live in South Africa, but also the Rhinoplasty Day is something very special. It's like Olympic Games that was held in Paris very few weeks ago, and okay, so and this is I'm how to say that. I'm eager to listen and to hear all my colleagues from all over the world regarding that. And this is really very special. And when I see on WhatsApp or different groups, the announcing the teams, I see the names of the people representing their country. I say, wow, I have never seen such a panel of big names gathering all together for this 1 day or 2 days maximum meeting. And this is very special. This is because of you, because you are a high-level sportman, and high-level sportmen know what is making things difficult, tricky. Yeah. And after that is great. Come, you are a big guy. That's why every people like you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yves, 2 more things for the guys out there is, because I've got a third thing I want to talk about, but the 2 other things about this week is the uniqueness of a cadaver dissection, again, by specialists in different regions of the world doing that.
Yeah.
And then there's a skin session. So perhaps some thoughts around the cadaver dissection.
Well, about the cadaver, there will be, I don't like personally talking about cadaver. I prefer anatomic dissection or something. But anyway, this is nice because for the participants will be with us. Each of us, I mean, Toriumi, John, Ishida, Goxel, me, and for that we will be together with the participants, and we will be in charge of helping our colleagues to understand how to perform some special procedures to improve their skills. And also this is according to our personal experience in each kind of technique. So all the techniques, surgical procedure will be represented, all kind of patients will be there, and surgeons from all over the world will coming. So it's for me, it's I told you, it's really true. I see something that is really amazing. And I'm sure, and the end will be with injectors, with the Bertossi. And again, they are really preparing a fantastic last day for injections, because we cannot talk nowadays about nose surgery without talking about what is happening in the nose with fillers or neuromodulation or whatever. Yeah. And this is very special.
And when we concluded these meetings, so coming back to the dissecting, guys, when I had to prepare for my board exams in facial plastic surgery in 2018, I went to visit Carlos Neves and did his face course, and Yves was one of the faculty and instructors, and what he taught me and how he does anatomy. Forget about the World Rhinoplasty Day, forget about the live surgeries. If you can come to dissection and learn, it's outstanding. Never mind just Yves. I mean, these 6 guys, I'm very excited for that. It's not often that you get this unique opportunity of having so many guys with so few. I mean, there are only 18 heads.
Well, it's true that we will show some things, and we will try to make it very exciting, because we want to show very nicely things so that all our colleagues can understand the surgical procedures, the anatomy of the nose, so they will really get some special tricks and deep understanding of what we are doing. Because most of our colleagues, and it's not completely bad to say that, but many of our colleagues are just learning one procedure and repeating the same procedure on all their patients.
Yes.
And this is a good opportunity to listen and to see what we can do on different kind of patients, like a very, how to say that, the procedure is really done to offer the best result to our patients. And this is something, what we, on my opinion, this is what we need to offer. Our expertise must be adapted to the requirements, to the expectations of the patient according to their anatomy. And that is what is making this surgery very, very difficult. Yeah. You know, Cam, in my life, I can tell you I have done all kind of hand and neck surgery. I can reconstruct the head, I can remove everything and reconstruct and rebuild everything. But I can tell you, the nose is probably the most difficult. Nowadays, since about 10 years, I'm only performing rhinoplasty because you can remove the parotid, rebuild, you can do whatever you want with facial nerve, you can. But the nose is the only surgery that when you have finished, I can say things are starting. So, I mean, when you have to remove a tumor, you have removed the tumor, make a flap, it's okay. Most of the time it's done. But when you have finished the nose, things are starting. Because you don't know how the nose will heal, you know what will be the patient's feedback from the surgery, and you know that we have to deal with that for months and months, not only just the week after surgery. And this makes this surgery very special. And that's why it's good to talk about that.
Yeah, I kind of almost have this kind of crazy idea, but it's like we're wanting to put a world meeting together. So we're trying to, it's almost like a 3D. We are trying to cater from the beginner to the advanced. We are trying to cater from one surgical technique to another, and we are trying to cater from one type of patient to another. It's just like it's so much that we try to pack into one thing. So when we concentrate so hard for all these days, we have to also have a break when we finished. How excited are you for going on a safari with the rest of the gang?
Well, so when we say this word safari, automatically it is written South Africa, and this is something unique. Yeah. And meeting the big five, sharing these good times with our friends, looking at rhinos or elephants or hippos is, wow, it's unbelievable and unforgettable, because all my life, because you don't know, but maybe, you know, I was born in Madagascar, very close to South Africa, let's say same level. But we didn't have many of your big, no lion, and so, for example, and so if even I remember crocodiles and some it's completely different, and I was really eager to see these big animals closer and to feel this kind of smell. You'll find that in the safari, and this is, you cannot feel or live these kind of things elsewhere. I think it is really great. It is an amazing experience.
That's awesome.
And so
I'm excited. I know you've been keen to spend time talking about a really interesting topic on analyzing the nose and the face together. But guys, I've got bad news for you. We couldn't get the technical side to work. So we're going to come back and we're going to record another podcast later all about analyzing the nose and the face. I've heard it. It's a very good talk. So make sure you tune in again for another episode of the Rhinoplasty podcast with World Rhinoplasty Week coming up. Yves, thank you so much for your time. We've managed to pack in quite a few questions. I love the wisdom and the teaching and what you've done for rhinoplasty, what you're still doing for rhinoplasty. And I look forward to welcoming you to South Africa in a few weeks' time.
Thank you very much, Cam. It's a pleasure for me to be with you and to share with our friends. Thank you so much.
Guys, thanks for listening, and tune in again for the next episode. For those of you who are only listening to this on a podcast platform, please try and reach out and get onto YouTube, because on our YouTube channel, we've got some really cool clips where I interview the guests.